member of WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com.
They came from the game table, dice bags in hand.
We have one brain that we share between us.
To talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you like it.
The original, then basic, then one they scoured.
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
To bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D second edition podcast ever.
Anyway, that's a good show. I like that. Hi, folks. THACO's Hammer 74.
Correct.
Yes, bandits and badass, bandits and bugger, bandits and
God.
Bandits and badass. I was going to say bandits. I was going to say bandits and burgers.
Bandits and buggery.
Ooh.
This is the sound of me face palming right now. Picard style.
Great. Bandits and brigandry. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
It is
there you go.
74. Next one will be 75. The next one after that will 76. See how that works?
Yeah.
DM Glen, and we've got DM Brian here.
Isn't it amazing how math works? Hey, folks, what's going on?
And DM Full-On Gamer. We can't stop him.
Greetings, Gamer Nation. We're back.
You had to think about that for a minute?
I'm just amazed that I'm here before the sun completely sets in Oklahoma, so I'm on a winning streak.
There you go. There you go. Oh, yeah, and DM Corey, too. Hey, Corey.
Hey, who let this closet door unlocked? Oh, what's going on, everybody?
Who let the pour out?
They only let me out once a week to do this show, then they dangle a bottle of rum down the stairs of the basement and then lock it behind me.
Don't laugh. I got to clean the closet. Anyway, we are all here. We're ready to go, so let's go into Hits and Crits.
What are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you doing tonight? The burlesque, Louie's Paradise, miserable and lonely and stupid. What am I, crazy or something? I got something good here. What am I hanging around with you guys for?
Hits and Crits.
Hits and Crits. What's happening, Full-On? What you been doing?
Oh, Army stuff. And then, of course, getting my wife all spun up on the Old Republic now, so the clan is growing.
Yeah, you're infecting the family now. Okay. Has she expressed any desire to tabletop game?
Nothing recently. Plus, she's busy supporting the Gamer Nation from the other side of things as a pizza delivery person, so be sure to tip your driver.
Yeah.
Okay. Tip your driver. My husband's in the Army.
Mm-hmm. My question is, when it's intimate time, do you make lightsaber jokes? Because I would get kicked out of the house, but I would totally make those jokes. Once you get your wife into Star Wars, those jokes will never stop.
The midichlorians are flowing.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, I could make so many jokes, but I won't.
That's the second podcast of the week I mentioned midichlorians.
Corey, it's not a spouse I have to recruit into gaming. She's already gamer.
Yeah.
See, that's
it's all good.
Yep. As we said,
we have other special dice.
Oh, I bet you do.
I have those dice too, and I know exactly the dice you're talking.
I know. Yes, I have those too.
Yeah, they weren't made for Zashi. They were made by a company called Ben and Wah. And they're like 100-sided dice. They're really round. Anyway, hey Brian. All right, Brian, you spoke up. What have you been doing?
Well, I haven't been doing too much in the way of tabletop gaming lately. I've been feeding another mild obsession of mine. Last week, just on a lark because I was home and I was bored and I saw a video on YouTube, I started actually playing Star Trek Online.
Uh-oh.
I'm having fun flying around the galaxy and blowing stuff up. That's all I play.
If you are so inclined, there is Star Trek Online, the Order of 66 on D20 Radio. Come on in and join the guild. Join the fleet.
Right?
Yes, there is.
Oh, yeah, I got recruited into a guild like my second.
These are better people.
Oh, I'm sure. So, yeah, I've already made it to Lieutenant Commander. I'm trying to get up to Captain because I want my own little Starship Defiant modified my way. So I could go and fight Borg and actually win.
Star Trek Online versus the Old Republic.
Oh, God, no. No, I'm one of those geeks that actually loves both equally because they both have a special place in my life. I mean, I was watching
Versus, we're on the same website.
I know that. I'm just saying. You know that's a major geek battleground full on. Come on.
Yes. That's how fun it is sometimes.
Yeah, for all the wrong reasons, for sure.
Oh boy. So no tabletop game. Corey, it's up to you and me to keep the faith, man. What have you been doing?
Oh, you want me to go first? Well, I gotta tell you, sorry man, you're on your own. This is the second freaking session in a row that my group has, I've got stuff to do. I have sand in my lady parts. I can't make it. Gas is too expensive. My kid threw up a shoe. I've got excuses coming out, my bag of holding here that.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, really? You can't make it? Why? Gas is too expensive and I have stuff to do with the kids.
Gas is at its lowest price in like 6 or 7 months.
Okay, well, the point is I'm getting some excuses from my players who have decided to start seeing my game as not as important as I see it.
Oh, well,
so,
that's the problem.
I started texting them random stuff if they're not on Facebook, which a couple of them aren't. Which, believe it or not, people still aren't on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
I sent some messages to them randomly like, something happened to your character. Or the other one
you say things like that probably terrifies them from coming to find out.
Yeah, well, what I do is I sent my buddy James a text message and was like, do me a favor, do you have a character sheet near you? Yeah. Can you roll me a saving throw versus spell? Why? They'll find out. And he's like, no, seriously, dude. I'm like, seriously, roll me a saving throw versus spell. And he's like, I missed it. I'm like, and I just put in ... And he's like, what? What happened? What? I was like, I'll see you next Sunday. So, I gotta start the mind games now. It's sad when I have to, play mind games to get some players over. Meanwhile, I'm telling everybody at work, no, you can't join my second edition game. Are you kidding, man? You're playing second edition? When can I get in? Meanwhile, I gotta tell all my veteran players, hey guys, I'm telling people that they can't play the game because you don't feel like showing up because you don't want to play with the noobs.
I just started.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do?
I just started saying yes and letting a few of them in.
Mr. Caraway,
yes, sir.
If I start another game, it would be Monday nights, which means I would be no longer at this podcast, which is...
No. I'm saying let them in Sunday games.
Use their time slot.
Yeah, use their time
slot, and if they don't show, they don't get it. And if you end up alternating time slots for alternating games, that's cool too.
My problem will be 3 will show up from one group and 4 will show up from the other group, and they're like, okay, there's 7 of us here, which game are we playing? And it's like, yeah, I don't want that headache. So instead, I say
the answer yes. What game are we playing? Yes.
No, I'd actually start playing with the new group on those Sundays because your old people aren't showing up. I'd be like, look, I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs on a Sunday because you guys don't want to show up because you got sand in your lady parts. So I'm just going to roll with some other people for a while, and when you can, when you finish taking that bath to clean all the sand particles out, come and give me a call and we'll work something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of them will say, well, fine, we just won't play game it, which is okay because, good riddance, you got players.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but the problem with that is these are the same guys that come over to the house to not play D&D and just to hang out, and these are the guys that will come back and say 6 months and go, you know what I miss? Playing D&D. We should totally play a D&D campaign. All right, Corey, DM. And I told him after this campaign's over with, no matter how it ends, whether we end it on you guys win the day and the sun is setting and you guys are riding off, or we just end it, this is the last time I'm DMing. I've DM'd for the last 13 years straight for this group, and I'm not doing it anymore.
Wow.
So,
it's at that point now.
In Star Wars, they call it game mastering, so you can GM now.
Well, I'd say start fresh with the new people because you'd probably get your second win on there, and 13 years and they're pulling this stuff. Come on.
Nope.
You know,
Yeah.
I know life gets in the way, but come on.
Yeah, I know. There's
Say-
something. Go ahead, Corey.
Say for our game where you're DMing, Brian, I haven't played D&D since the 90s.
No, I understand. I totally understand.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, 2000. Yeah, 2000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, but yeah, if you're having trouble getting your players always having excuses, it's like, okay, fine, I'll just find somebody else to play with. You come and talk to me when you want to play.
Folks, welcome to THACO's Hammer Intervention. This week it's
Well, Glenn, what have you been doing this week? You been playing?
yeah, but before I get to that, let me tell you what I bought.
Here we go again.
I got a little more Palladium. I got the Palladium role-playing game, the original fantasy one. Just
Good edition.
Love them wolfing. Woohoo!
First revised.
Had 2 editions, I think.
Yeah, they do 2
Oh, that's
editions.
good.
revised.
Yeah,
First,
the better one. Nice.
First revised. I just want to dig a little deeper and see how this dog does its tricks.
It's pretty
It's
good.
easy. Ask the wolfing.
I also got Beyond the Supernatural and a few turtle supplements like After the Bomb and
Which is the best one.
and Truckin' Turtles.
Yeah.
Mutants.
Hey, Star Wars and mutant turtles and friggin' Wolverines and badgers and, you know.
It's like I looked at After the Bomb and says, who needs Gamble World? These are all mutant animals and plants.
Exactly.
Go!
The only thing better is when you get ninjas and super spies and you take the mutant ferret and you give them the heightened metabolism and you give them Thai kickboxing and then put them in Super Veritech.
Oh,
Awesome.
I also got a couple of games that I want to tell you about. First of all, I finally got the Margaret Weiss Marvel Superhero Heroic Role Playing, just to find out what got Vince's at one time's panties in a wad over the Cortex system.
It's complicated. That's why.
I found it a tough read. I understand the concepts, but they throw a lot at you. I finally told people on the Facebook, and one guy goes, well, the problem is it reads terrible, but it plays great.
Yes, that is Cortex in a nutshell, just like when you're playing Serenity. Reads awful. It doesn't make heads or tails of what the hell is going on until you're playing a game and you actually roll on it.
So you got to get it up. So you got to get it on its feet and just, see what happens, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got this other really nice supplement called Weird Adventures. This is by a guy named Trey Causey. He has a blog called From the Sorcerer's Skull. And he put this out, and I love it. It's a print on demand from like RPG Now. And it's an alternate type Earth, 1930s pulp noir with fantasy in it.
Cool.
Awesome. I like that idea.
And it's
Like Shadowrun by Gaslight.
It's
That's pretty badass.
it's system neutral because it's just like a world supplement thing. But they've got like new stuff in there. I love the monsters. They don't have hill giants. They have hillbilly giants.
See, Heavenly, we're gonna go down and get Babyface, and we're gonna go down and see the Giants today.
They don't have
No, real Giants.
They don't have hobgoblins. They have hobo goblins.
Oh, God.
That's awesome.
And it's a hoot. It sounds like a hoot. I love the picture. They don't have trolls. They have goons. And the picture of the goon there, it looked kind of like a troll if Sagar had drawn a troll. It looks kind of like a goon. But it's it's the same thing. They regenerate and all this other stuff. And I love the picture, the bugbear picture. He just pasted a picture of Robot Monster.
That's funny.
But, folks, it's great. It's an easy buy. It's like, I forget how much I paid. 18 because I got both the hardback and the PDF. But the PDF is really cheap. It's like $9.99. Go out and get it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, the game. Here's what happened in the game. We got bushwhacked.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, by it looked like an armed camp of orcs.
Okay.
We walked in on it in our travels. We were on our way supposed to be doing something for somebody else, and it's like I told this on the other show, I learned something about the OSR. People are they're going on about like, oh, why are they putting vampires in homes because they're too powerful, or these big dragons in BX, or this time, or all the others, and the usual response is to teach the players to run away, right?
Yep.
Well, I found out a very important fact they don't say. You can only run away if the DM lets you run away.
And that's my problem with Matt. He's a little too sadistic for my taste as a DM. That's his DM.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy that we had as a guest on the show.
Yeah, that was
let you run away. You just have to be good enough to get away.
Well, the point is, we came on and we just walked in, and I was like, I got a color spray spell. There are too many orcs. I started backing away. But next thing you know, we're going, okay, you guys are overwhelmed, and they beat you unconscious. So we ended up in the room naked without our stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I can understand what he was doing. He was pulling the old GM plot device thing.
Sure.
We all looked at each other. We all looked at each other and go, okay, fine, we'll roll with it. Let's see where it goes.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't mind.
Sometimes that happens.
But you got to remember, you run away when you get a chance to run away. If the DM says you're not running away, you're not running away.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So we go through their lair looking for our stuff, and we're like 2 hours into, like, we fought these things. We've taken armor off of goblins and orcs. We've we've hit and all this other stuff. And finally, with an hour left, he had to say, guys, your stuff is all the way on the other side.
That's what happens when you stick them in a complex with nothing but their skivvies.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance they might go the wrong way and not get their stuff.
Did you see how
I saw a hole there. We had enough greed through the hole. We're fine.
And but you got the quote of the game.
Just take all the orc stuff. It's fine.
Did you see the quote of the game on Facebook? You probably didn't.
No,
but here's the situation. We had a fight with orcs and goblins, and we did pretty good, but we lost our cleric. He died. Well, in this one chest they were guarding was a potion of resurrection. And afterwards he told me, he says, you just threw that in there so he wouldn't. He says, no, that actually came up. You guys just had to use it right away. I was going to give you a break and give you a potion of resurrection, but I didn't expect to use it right away. And so it's like, okay, we get the potion of resurrection to the cleric. And,
wow.
And I'm sorry, Brad, I got to say it. Brad.
Oh, yeah.
Turns to him and goes, isn't there anything else in the room? And he looks straight at him and says, dude, I just rezzed your cleric. He points to his nether regions. Suck it.
Wow. Just wow.
Oh, it was hilarious. And the pirate dwarf lost his monkey, unfortunately. That's what happens.
Wasn't a familiar. He's fine.
The other gnome lost his dog too, which is too bad. But hey, he did pretty good though. Anyway, that's me. How about some emails?
Okay, we got emails, and excuse me. And just as an aside, thank you folks for continuing to email the show. I'm very happy that we have a surplus of emails. We could actually do an email show again. How about that?
Wow.
We have a plethora.
Yes, we do. We actually have a smorgasbord, if you will. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I also did Sod last night, Save or Die. And the first time in the history of the show, I actually had to censor Liz.
What?
She dropped an F-bomb. And I'm thinking,
really?
I forgot about it, and I'm editing the show today. I'm going, Liz just dropped an F-bomb.
Liz is a sweetheart. What was she fired up about?
She wasn't fired up. She was quoting somebody.
Oh, okay.
I think she forgot herself, and it's like, I got to tell her next show, Liz, you tossed a bomb in there. I had to take it out for the first time.
Yeah. Can you tell her that she's actually not Maggie Gyllenhaal? She just looks like Maggie Gyllenhaal. She needs to be careful.
Yeah.
Even better, what you need to do is save that as an MP3, put it on your phone, and make it an instant button. That way, when she starts talking funny on the show, you can just hit the button and have her say, fuck! Oh, sorry.
I think it was the S. I think it was the F word, the S word actually.
Oh, that'd be even funnier.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's just very funny.
Anyway,
okay. We have a new emailer to the show, DM Angelo.
Hey, Angelo. Hey, Padre.
Hey, Gumbots.
Build my safe, forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it. He says, hello, everyone. First of all, great job on Splatbook 73.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The undead are always a great topic, especially energy drain. How devastating is it for a low-level character to be hit by a wight and lose those precious levels that he's fought for? Oh, boy. I had a discussion on that, and I'll talk about it after I finish the email. Probably the same for a lone adventurer to miss his or her saving throw against a ghoul. I use energy drain rarely, sometimes house rule the effects. If I introduced energy draining monsters into my current campaign and scored a successful hit on one particular player, I believe he would literally have a heart attack. Wow. Let's see. Undead should cause much fear in any level party, yeah, depending on how you use them. Okay, now for the main reason for this email. Several months ago, I ran a one-shot scenario at our local convention, Strategicon in Los Angeles. You familiar with that one, Glenn?
Yeah, I think I went there once.
Okay.
When I was married with my second wife. Yeah.
I went there once.
You did?
Oh, no, I was doing
I think that if that's, yeah, I think Strategicon and OrcCon, I think they're held at one of the hotels at the airport. Yeah, I remember.
Remember throwing me on the hook once.
Okay.
All right, Johnny.
Yeah. He said he ran the adventure out of Dungeon Magazine 25 called Standing Stones of Sundown. Wow, say that fast. Players were given pre-gens from A1 slave pits of the Undercity.
Nice.
One of the stars of the show was a human fighter named Ogre who during one session lost his shield arm from the shoulder when fighting the big bad guy at the conclusion.
I like this so far. This is awesome.
Wow, he uses good hits and bad misses out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that's pretty brutal. The players
you got two fans already. Keep going, Angelo.
Yeah, no kidding. Players of both sessions like the investigative role-playing theme of the scenario. I was wondering if you guys would review this and give your thoughts about it. I really would enjoy when you review adventures. Well, it just so happens, Angelo, we're doing one tonight. From the Golden Age of Dragon magazine. Keep up the great work, guys.
It means dungeon.
Dungeon magazine, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he said dragon. I just read it off his email.
Sorry.
I think that's what he meant.
Thank you, Angelo, and I'm sorry I missed that game. That sounded like kick-ass.
Yep.
Yeah. It all depends, because, good hits and bad misses make criticals fairly rare. And the higher in level you are, the more chance that you have the criticals will occur. So, oh goodness. And now I just put it in the thing. There was something about that mail that I wanted to read, or I wanted to respond to. Oh, that's right. Energy draining undead. I had a discussion on Dragon's Foot, yeah. or as I'm referring to it nowadays, Argument Town. Because that's all people do on Dragon's Foot nowadays.
Let me take you down to Argument Town.
Well done, Glenn. Well done. And that was talking. There's a guy who was talking about putting an obviously high-powered monster against a first and second level party. He was thinking about putting him up against an ogre mage, and I'm like, everybody said that you're going to have at least 75% casualties.
Yeah. And the remainders are the ones who were smart enough to run.
Yeah. It's like I would never do that, because let's see, one cone of cold and that wipes out at least half the party, even if it's saves.
Ogre mage encountering a first level party is not to be used as a combat encounter, but to be used as a mocking the first level party encounter as he plays with them for his own entertainment. Otherwise, you will kill them all.
Yeah, fairly easily, too. But yeah, I mean, energy draining undead, I usually wait till my party's around 4th level average before, like in the game now, it's like the average is about 4th level. So now I can start putting those kind of things up as your adversaries because you can actually handle the fallout of running into energy draining undead.
Uh-huh.
So,
Listen to me, samurai. It is now the time for me to play Suck You with penetrating undead.
Exactly.
Boot to the head.
Yeah. Well, nice.
That's my
Jack
job.
reference. Nice Samurai Jack reference, full on. But yeah, so yeah, it's one of these things where as much as people say I'm a softie when it comes to being a DM. Now, guys, let me ask you right now: am I a softie?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't pushed you.
Well, I'm just saying combat, that kind of stuff. And,
You're all right.
Yeah,
I don't know. How aroused are you? But
I was waiting for that. I was thinking Glenn was going to say something.
Dude, you're the Pillsbury Doughboy.
You were number 2 on the list.
As far as a softie goes for DMing, I don't think you're too much of a softie. I think that it's a nice balance. You got hard nosed when you need to be, but you see the game for what it is, and it's not, we're playing by these rules because the rules need followed. You're using the guidelines to make a great story.
Thank you, Corey. Dude, I appreciate that.
Dude, I play with Odinist. Anybody after that is soft.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, the stories, and then when we had him as a guest host, you could almost hear the happiness in his voice when he's talking about killing off other characters and stuff.
And I give him stuff. I give more stuff to read so he could do it. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah, well, yeah, you are kind of feeding the beast a little bit. So, full on, your opinion, sir?
You know what? I have a feeling before full on answers.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that this new quote-unquote emailer is actually just Brian looking for compliments for his team.
God. Oh, man. Man, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta be like that?
Are you fishing for compliments, Brian? You're the prettiest girl.
I wanted your honest opinion.
Yeah, you got it. You got my honest opinion.
That's cool.
I still think you wrote
Hold on. Is he the Pillsbury Doughboy? Is he too soft?
Hold on. Did we lose him?
I think he's.
There
he's
are many a time that you could have done quite a bit of damage to us that I would not have resisted the urge to do so.
Wait, okay, that's tactful enough.
He's saying you doughy.
Yeah. Yeah, that I giggle when someone pokes me in the tummy. Yeah, I get it. Okay. But,
Only for comedy.
And the half-orc's gonna die.
Hey, the half-orc is a trouble magnet, and trouble usually means damage, so you've already come close to dying a couple of times already.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so is Corey, but...
Fine with that.
Yes, I do.
Bring it on.
And one for Force in the Whip.
I die at making a thief mage that specializes in wands. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's why I'm keeping you alive, Corey. I'm keeping that out of my game. All right, let's move along to the next email.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Go
that
on.
was Angelo, right?
Yeah,
That was Angelo.
Yeah, Angelo.
It's not Angelo. It's Angelo.
Yeah, Angelo. Yeah.
Forget about
House ruling with the undead and the level draining and using them appropriately is always a good thing, and yes, you should scare the snot bejesus out of them. Go for it.
Sure. Every once in a while.
Angelo, great email. And Caraway. Thank you so much.
Cut that out.
Let us move on, Mr. Caraway. Say go.
Okay, we have another new emailer to the show. His name is Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Okay, he says, I didn't listen to all the previous podcasts.
Sacrilege!
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's catching up.
Okay.
He says, I listened in order, and I'm only at number 25, so I don't know if the subject was already covered. As a matter of fact, I'm not exactly sure it was. Basically, I'd like to know what are the rules for fighting with two-handed weapon, with two-weapon style, and if it's possible for a thief as well. Awesome show. Thank you. Okay. I'll take point on this. I'll take the point.
You do it.
Okay. Two-weapon fighting style is very simple. if you are any character trying to do it, -2 for the primary weapon, -4 for the secondary. You take 2 weapon style, it becomes normal for the primary, -2 for the secondary. If you take ambidexterity, then you're golden.
Which is an optional proficiency.
Only at character creation. Yeah, exactly. Correct. And you only take it at character creation. You just can't become ambidextrous.
Some non-doughy DMs do not allow those optional proficiencies because they want that.
Hey, Patrick McGowan did it in an episode of The Prisoner. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but he's a prisoner. What else do you have to do? Anyway. So, yeah, that's the easiest way. Thieves can do it.
Thieves do it.
Yeah. Yeah, thieves
even
can...
little bees do... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, my God.
Let's do it.
Wow.
Let's do weapon fight.
Thieves can fight with 2 weapons as well. They're more or less the only 2 classes that can do it and get away with it because the NWP requirements are fairly steep. Yeah. So, fighters and thieves can do it. You can probably get your cleric to do it, but you're going to have to spend quite a few proficiencies in order to do so.
And a lot of beer and wine.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of praying to your deity. I am learning to use my left hand so that I may slay more foes in your name. Yeah.
No, I know what you use your left hand for.
And it's not for praying.
Holy crap.
That's your holy hand. What are you doing?
Power word fap. All right.
Power word fap.
I'm an old man. Stop that.
Oh my God. Corey, you are just terrible. Anyway. It's possible. If your players want to do it, you make them pay for it. You make them focus on 2 weapon style, more to the exclusion of learning multiple weapons and being a little more flexible in combat. But it's certainly possible.
Can you do triple weapon style? One of your teeth and
if you're
a Greenwood Ranger,
yes, you can do it.
That would be awesome.
That was coming out.
I've had to deal with that in the past because I was inside, the ruins of Castle Greyhawk, and my half ogre ended up with a 4th set of arms.
Wait, a 4th
he
set?
turned to a Shokan?
Well, 4th arms.
Nice.
Yes, I was very much the Shokan.
What was
I had to spend extra weapon proficiencies in additional short swords and additional thrown daggers, so I was now the 50 caliber of the dungeon.
Yeah, 2 around became 8 around.
So what was your name for him?
No, Grondor Dwarf Fighter of the Orkthrower clan.
His nickname was Old Painless.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope he answered your question, Daniel.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for writing in.
Yes, there are ways to do it, Daniel. Awesome. Keep up the 2 weapon style. You might need or want to refine it just a little bit because still, personally, I was never happy with any of the D&D approaches of 2 weapon fighting, other than just a long, drawn-out struggle to eliminate penalties and not ever get any real tangible benefit other than that extra attack.
Yeah.
Because I've done 2 weapon fighting and I've trained for 2 weapon fighting, and there are distinct and separate styles of 2 weapon fighting that never get reflected in the game. There's the offensive 2 weapon fighter, there's the balanced 2 weapon fighter, and there's the defensive 2 weapon fighter, and there are ways to do that, and I've mentioned them in the past in various podcasts.
You think
I'll
that's
go to them later.
Yeah, you think that's hard? Try talking to a Champions DM on how they handle semi-auto and auto fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My answer to that was made simple with the release of Stargate SG-1 D20 RPG. So,
okay. I'd be
have the
interested in
best
hearing
range combat and one of the best range combat feat sets out there.
Okay, so what? We got one more?
Yeah, we got one more. Okay, this is from DM Shag, one of our regular emailers.
Appropriate name for this show.
Yeah, exactly. Especially this show in particular. You're right. Let's see. It says, I just finished episode 67 and it's another home run. Great job.
Heck yeah.
Loved hearing my last email read on the air. See that run, you see.
Oh, we're going to have to cut this. We're going to have to cut.
on, Shaggy.
Yeah. You just
Wait, did Brian write this one too?
No, I didn't.
All right, Shaggy.
Aha, so you did write the last one.
No, I even if I did do it, you'll never get me to admit it. Anyway.
Come on,
so,
there you go.
Yeah, stop that. Let's see. During the reading, DM Brian hit ever so briefly on a subject that had a profound effect on my early RPGing days. That being the demonization. Oh, that's a funny pun, even though it's unintended. Demonization of D&D by the religious right. I am from and still live in the deep south. Specifically, there we go, English, Southwest Mississippi. Yeah, that's about as deep as you can get and still not be in the Gulf. Live about 90 miles north of New Orleans. In this part of the country, young boys are expected to grow up loving fast cars, pickup trucks, hunting, and fishing. Yeah.
Yeehaw.
The outdoors, SEC football, God, and guns. Not Voltron, computer games, Tolkien, or D&D. Yeah, I feel your pain.
Don't forget beards and duck hunting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially nowadays. I can honestly say, however, that I grew up loving all of the above, and the expected and not quite so, and the not quite so. Oh, okay, I get what he's saying. When it came to D&D, though, there was a lot of opposition, mostly in the form of my very old-school Southern Baptist family and the very strong influence that the local religious community had on so many different aspects of our lives back in the day. When I started playing in 1986 at the age of 9, D&D was seen in our areas at least as the devil's game. If anyone was ever admitted to playing D&D, the consequences could be disastrous. I know of people who lost their jobs, whose marriages were ruined, whose property was vandalized, and who were openly mocked and ridiculed in public, all because of a game. The church had so much influence on things that although it was not illegal to sell D&D related material, local businesses did not dare do so for fear of being boycotted. My first ever 1E player's handbook was one that I copied verbatim by hand into a 5-subject spiral notebook. Wow, that takes some dedication right there. I didn't actually get my first actual retail copy of anything D&D related until I was 15. When I skipped school and drove to a gaming store in New Orleans to buy a set of 2E core books.
Right on.
My friends and I were forced to sneak around, lie to our parents, and hide in friendly people's back rooms in order to play D&D. It was ridiculous and unnecessary. Eventually, I stopped hiding, stopped being afraid of what people would think of me, and brought my gaming into the full light of day. My family was furious. Several months of arguing, debating, not speaking, yelling, and finally having a calm talk about it. Yeah, the last part is the key. I was able to bring them to their senses and make them realize just how immature their attitudes towards a game had been. That was the summer of 1993, and I had been in RPG hiding for 7 years. After that, however, things only ever got better. In fact, as a graduation present in 1996, my mother gave me a box full of 1E stuff she had bought from an old college friend of hers. Wow. That is a turnaround.
All those things they experiment with in college, and the best thing was the D&D.
Yeah. Today, I'm almost done. Almost done. Today things in this part of the world would have improved tremendously. Of course, D&D is no longer taboo, but neither is being goth or black or even gay. We still have our fair share of hypocrites, bigots, and racists. So yeah, you guys are buried way over your head in those kind of people. But compared to 27 years ago, it's like night and day. For me personally, D&D is a big part of my life, but so is my faith in God, my love of my country, and for my wife, daughter, and family, my favorite fishing hole, and my Browning 12 gauge. I like to think that although tradition is still important to us, we here in the Deep South have evolved quite a bit, and that makes me happy. It gives me hope for the future culture here in the South and in America in general. If I could convince my family, who are committed to the belief that D&D was evil, to change their minds, then it has to be possible for our society to change. to become more accepting of our differences and to learn to love the things that makes each of us unique. As always, keep up the great work. I'm looking forward to hearing episode 68 and beyond. Yours in gaming, Chris B, a.k.a. DM Shag.
Yeah, I can see that. P.S. I've given up my family's religion to do D&D because I got tired of going into the swamp at the fire and worshiping these fish creatures that come out of the ocean and and pray to great Cthulhu. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have it quite as bad as him, but I can certainly identify. You know, I mean, the funny part about me back in those days in the early to mid 80s that I was supposed to, you know, dress a certain way. I was supposed to dress in frickin' Adidas running suits with frickin' Adidas sneakers with no shoelaces and have a frickin' ghetto blaster on my shoulder and all that kind of crap. I wasn't supposed to play D&D or like heavy metal music. so I understand.
Wait, you didn't dress like that?
No, I didn't. And trust me,
I'm doing it for him. He's covered.
Really?
I did have parachute pants and could break them.
Really?
I get my freak on.
I want it.
Damn. Wow. Okay. Full on gamer, AKA,
Renaissance man.
Rocksteady.
I said it before.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
I was
don't do the head spin full on. That's all I ask.
I was one of the few people who did not get into D&D until I was much older, like 22, 23. I was already on my own, but it still get infuriated hearing these stories about people.
Oh yeah.
The things people would have to go to play D&D.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've had friends that were here in Oklahoma when I was here in junior high and high school, and I'd been gaming for years before I moved here, but they had to encounter things like the parents who, they burned all my stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, people I just wanted to run over with my car, which is why I put sights on the front of my car for bracketing people in when I come after them with the gamer's car.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have any problems with my family with what I did due to the fact that my family's the one who got me into it with my older cousins. Mm-hmm. But I do specifically remember my parents being quite upset when they found that I took my health workbook from the first year of high school, I think it was, or last year of middle school, and I ripped the cover off and I glued it onto the cover of the Complete Thieves Handbook when it first came out because I wanted to take it with me to school, and like I was just like, and these are coming with me to school. No, you have to do your schoolwork. I do. I have my health workbook with me. Look, it's right here. The soft cover health workbook. And I remember trying to devise a way to get the Forgotten Realms novels when the Crystal Shard came out. I was like, I have an extra math book that I think I could carve out, like people carve out hollows in books where they cut through all the pages. I think I can fit a paperback in there.
Wow. Yeah. See, I didn't even bother with any of that when I was in freshman high school in 1983. I just had a separate canvas bag that had all of my first edition stuff in it, all of it. It was like an extra 30 or 40 pounds of books that I was lugging around along with my school books.
Well, I don't know.
They didn't affect my grades any.
Right. I don't know if this is old school or just old man. But in high school, if I was in high school, I mean, back in the day, and I had D&D and stuff like that, there's a reason kids use old paper shopping bags for book covers. I'll bet half of them.
Well, yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah. I mean, you write history or math on there, you could have a 1E book under there.
Hell, you could have Playboys underneath and they would never know.
Yeah. How did you know what I did?
Because you're not the only one who did it.
I did that one show called Good and Plenty, which took place in the mid-'70s, the late, and I figured out exactly the time when these would be out, and one guy who played the nerd, and I says, I got something for you. And I took my 1E Monster Manual and covered it with brown paper and did this it was like if Napoleon Dynamite did D&D on the title with these two swords and everything like that. And I said, here, as a nerd, you have to carry this on stage.
Yes,
cool!
Yeah, and of course he loved it.
Yeah.
Didn't you get him into D&D for that?
I did, but I lost track. I've lost track of him since. But yeah, he actually went out and I had the rules that was the time I was carrying the rules encyclopedia with me all the time. And he looked at it and he looked at the monster manual. That was cool. And he said, "Oh, let me see that." And he looks at that. And next thing I know, he's on his phone and he orders it off eBay. He buys it off eBay. I just bought it. What?
Yep.
Oh yeah, $40. What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I could have steered you towards people a lot less than $40.
See, sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, but I hear that he's still following it. He's still an actor and he's still following it. So
good for him.
Anyway, thanks for the letter, Shag.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I feel your pain. Trust me.
Yes,
I know exactly how it was.
And you too can send us your pain. Send us your letters at THACOshammer@gmail.com, where we have a number where you can give us your pain too.
1-405-806-0555.
And boy, do we have a lot of pain on there. Anyway.
Pain, blues, and agony.
Yeah.
Sorry, channeling my Dusty Rhodes.
That's right. Anyway, let's go on to people skills.
The face is familiar.
It's mine.
And so it is.
Oh, yes, of course. It stands out a mile, doesn't it? He's so common.
A little lady comes in here and starts throwing her butt around. What is that supposed to do?
All right, forget I said anything.
Maybe I will.
Well, that's pretty good.
Don't tell me you weren't looking at it.
Well, that's not half bad.
She's giving it right back to you.
People skills.
People skills. I have trouble with syllables today for some reason. We're going to talk about...
I can juggle.
I don't want to know what. We're diving into the Complete Thieves Handbook and looking at the Bandit kit. I wanted to say package deal. No, that's Hero.
Yeah, that's Hero.
No, we're not gonna.
Oh, and one thing. Oh, there's just something about when we were talking about your whole thing about the Marvel game from Margaret Weiss Productions.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, Glenn cut his role-playing teeth on Champions. If he thinks it's complex, it is. And I will leave it at that.
Well, it's a funny thing about...
I meant to say that, but
it was a funny thing about Champions. Yeah, it could be complex, but it's easy. That sounds like an oxymoron, but what I'm saying is you're dealing with quantifiable numbers here. When you deal with something like this or Fate or something where you're like getting kind of like nebulous about stuff.
The whole point of Cortex is to get squishy so that you have the opportunity to be the big damn hero.
Yeah.
Right.
Squishy.
Yeah, my problem with Champions...
The math is squishy expressly for that circumstance.
I'm going to say it every time it comes up. I never took calculus, so I never learned to play freaking Champions. It's that simple.
And I just say that to get Glenn's go. You mean it.
I've tried playing it, and he's like, well, you just take this and divide it by this, and then you take it to 0.275 because your power meter is this. I'm like, hold on. I need a slide rule and a Texas Instruments calculator to play this role-playing game. Hold on.
Come on, Corey, let's take a break and let's go have a fleet battle in Starfleet Battles instead.
Oh, God, that's another one.
I have played Champions, but it boiled down to the DM going, grab 4d6. What power are you using? This one. All right, yeah, grab 4d6. Or 5d8 or whatever you want to. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
It's all d6.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't do fractions.
Who, me?
Yeah.
About half the time.
Oh! There's the pun of the night, folks.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
the Complete Thieves Handbook on page 27 is
Corey, you deserve I'll give you 100 XP in my game for that one. That was awesome.
El Vigile.
I'm going to be lucky.
Bandito.
Yes. The Bandito. Okay.
The Bandit Kit.
Yes, Bandit Kit.
Yes. This is basically a thief without
not
a guild.
Not to be confused with the Band-Aid Kit. This is the Bandit Kit.
Yeah, not Bandit.
This is like a thief without a guild.
More or less.
Guild. They just don't have a city.
Right.
Well, that too.
And a lot of silly rules.
We're freelancing.
Yeah. I mean, as much as, we romanticize him, Robin Hood was a bandit.
Yes.
He was a bandit for the right reasons, but he was a bandit nonetheless.
Bandit, thugs, highwaymen, those kind of guys.
These are the people they won't let in a town. But they still want to rob you.
Oh no, they don't go to a town because they know they'll be caught, drawn, quartered, and hung before the sun goes down.
That's why they don't go to town.
Yeah.
These are the guys where the leader will ask, "Would you say I have a plethora of piñatas?" Yes.
Oh no,
plethora of piñatas.
Wow.
These are bandits.
Wow.
I love this kid.
He's on a roll. Anyway, no, it's all right.
Never use badges.
Well, he can tell us about the kit then.
Yeah, Corey.
Corey, go for it.
Hey, cool. I get to tell it. So, it's on page 27 of the Complete Thieves Handbook. It's one of the first kits here after the assassin. Essentially, it says that travel is rarely safe affair in the medieval fantasy setting. Besides the dangers of nature and fantastic menaces such as dragons and giants and Grell, there are humans who prey on the kid. Bandits must be strong and hardy to withstand the harsh forces of nature. Obviously, because they don't have a city or a hideout or whatever, they would be outside. And the people who seek their destruction, even with each other. Thieves must have a minimum scores of 10, then in both strength and con to be eligible for the bandit kit. The role that it says that they are often vicious characters, desperate, cunning, and cruel. They're prone to fight or even betray each other, but two things keep them bound in groups. The utter necessity of cooperation in order to survive the perils of the wilderness, let alone to be successful robbers, and the strength of whoever has established himself as leader among them by force and cunning.
Mm-hmm.
Some leaders may...
we rob them now.
Yeah, exactly. It says they manage to wield together large groups of bandits in some AD&D worlds, such as Fantasy World of Greyhawk. Fantasy setting, there are 7 even kingdoms of bandit kingdoms.
Yep.
Few leaders have the strength and charisma to bind many of the thieves, or even if they do, the mob will rarely stay together beyond the leader's demise. Bandits don't belong to thieves guilds as such. A large group of them or a network of cooperating groups may be considered analogous to a guild, however, provided some training, intimidating non-members who operate in their territory and so forth. I would see the bandits. You could use the bandits as your player group as part of I guess you want to call it an outsourced country bumpkin branch of the In-City Thieves Guild.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys handle the merchants and rob the merchants' taxes. We'll handle the farmers out here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, the Thieves Guild just sent a messenger and told us that a large shipment of stuff's coming through the southern gate headed down to Town X. Cool, we're going to
steal it, sell it back to the city it came from, and have them black market it back to the merchants so they can ship it and we can steal it again.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, this makes me want to take Tui and pull out the old basic Judges Guild Thieves of Fortress Badabaskar.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what it sounds like, that you can fit the bandits in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, Corey.
I was just going to keep reading, but go ahead.
No, I was just going to say
done.
This kit is pretty much, this kit is actually good for, I would say, you could do like an all bandits kind of thing. You know, you have like a couple of thieves, a couple of fighters for muscle and things like that, and
Country cleric.
Yeah, that's one way you can start an adventuring group.
Who was a friar?
Yeah, a friar. Yeah,
If he's a baritone, he's a deep fryer.
Oh,
and if he's Chinese, he just has a fly spell.
Oh,
jeez! Oh my God, the puns! Oh, the agony!
The other thing that you can use with the bandits is if you're doing a quasi not thiefy campaign, but you want the bandit style of person, these would be great things to have if you had a big epic war campaign going on or something, and these are your forward recon scout type people. You can make a very passable one out of a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
I agree.
This is true.
Your ambushers and your scouts.
Yeah, secondary skills say bowyer, fletcher, farmer, fisher, forester, gambler, groom, hunter, leather worker, tailor, weaver, teamster, freighter, trader, barterer, trapper, furrier, weaponsmith, woodworker, carpenter. Mm-hmm. They favored skills for bandits, as Full-On just said, about scouting and preparing ambushes, specifically climb walls for tree climbing, moving silently, hide in shadows, find and remove traps to develop their bandits' knowledge of snares, pits, and so forth. Weapon proficiencies, usually a thief's basic, heavy, brutal, bludgeoning weapons. For this reason, they may use the following cudgel-like weapons in addition to those normally permitted to thieves: flail, mace, morningstar, warhammer. One of the initial weapon proficiencies must be filled by a bludgeoning weapon. I didn't know that. That's required.
Yeah.
Bandits must also take proficiency in the kniff.
In the kniff. He means the knife, folks.
Because some among kniff fighting as a spectator sport. Yes,
That's right.
In this corner, it's red the black. And in this corner, it's black the red. They're going at it today.
Wow.
Over their share of the booty. Hello, booty. Hi, guys.
Exactly.
Full range of non-weapon proficiencies open. Required, though, is survival. Recommended alertness, animal handling, training, animal noise, fire building, intimidation, looting, riding, rope use, set snares, and swimming. Because there's nothing like a wilderness bandit who can't swim.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not one who hangs out on a riverside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because rivers are great highways, not just highways.
A bandit should be well equipped for wilderness survival. Items for equipment: pouches, flint and steel, backpack, magnifying glass, starting fires, especially at night, tinder, blanket, and knife.
Mm-hmm.
What I like is the special benefits. Because of their adeptness at ambushing, bandits gain a +1 on their attempt at surprise in the wilderness settings. The hindrances are that bandits generally despised by other characters. Normal people hate and fear the highwaymen, and other types of thieves tend to look at them with scorn, outcasts, and crude robbers. For this reason, they get a -2 reaction among the bandit, for reaction penalty among non-bandits.
Yep.
It looks like any race can be a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Now it said he has to have a bludgeoning weapon as one of his weapons. Could that be just something like, say, a sap or brass knuckles or something like that? Okay.
Yeah, all that stuff is available to
All
normal
varieties and flavors of beat stick.
Yeah, because sometimes you just don't want to kill who you're robbing. You just want to beat them up a little.
Yeah.
Hey, if you kill the merchants, they can't merch for you again.
That's true.
You also end up on wanted posters where they send kniggets out with kniffs.
Yes.
Who come to string you up for killing all the merchants.
No,
they also have the S words.
Yeah, exactly. The swords.
Yes. So have you guys used Monsieur Hood and his bunch in your games?
Yeah, from time to time, yeah. I've used it a couple of times, more just to make either an NPC contact or something like that. I've never actually played one in a game.
Yeah, I've never played one. I had a guy who played the kit to try it out, but it devolved into a running gag where he kept purchasing hunting dogs and trying to make it howl Cookie Crisp.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, it was the Cookie Bandit.
The other thing about the bandits is they have a tendency to like trained animals like dog, falcons, and pigeons.
Oh, sure.
Hunting message giving. So you could use them for attack dogs just as much as war dogs. They'd be awesome to have around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, too easy, no problem.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. It's a nice little kit.
We've used bandits, again, like I said, in the kind of paramilitary scouty campaign, but they're also, I've run them several times as NPCs against party members, but you have to remember to stay a little bit in control of yourself. You don't want to have a party of 10 thieves, whatever class they are, ambush a party.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of a party will die before the ambush rounds and the sneak attack rounds and everything else is done. You want to make sure that it's like a bandit or two who have a lot of mooks and minions of the non-classed variety of, I'm a human and I pound people to take their stuff. Or I'm a mongrel man and I pound people to take their stuff.
Dennis Moore, riding through.
I'm an ogre, and I pound people to take their stuff.
I pick things up and I put them down.
Yes. Look, we need somebody to put in those nails. And take its stuff? Yes. Oh, boy.
Exactly. But anyway. Yeah, it's a nice little kit. My only drawback about it is I would give them survival free. That's the only thing I do. I give it as a bonus rather than having it be required.
One type
because,
of
yeah, one particular type of terrain being, woods or mountains or swamp or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all coming down here in our swamp, we're gonna bandit you all real good.
Did we establish that this is one of the first Brown books that came out?
Yes.
It was one of the awesome Brown books that came out.
Yeah, this was the second one.
To me, I think, in my opinion, the kit is more of a toe in the water testing. The benefit is okay. It's not fantastical, but the drawback isn't hamstringingly terrible. So to me, it's not much more than a slight nudge on the generic thief. It's just a wilderness thief. It's a good kit. If someone's like, I just don't want to play just a thief, dude, play a bandit. Oh, that's pretty cool. Give me some flavor. I'm outdoors. I'm an outdoors, But to me, it's a cool, +1 to a regular basic thief class.
I'd love to play a PC who takes the bandit class, but gets all these pluses in he takes two-handed fighting. He takes the ambidextrous we're talking about. He takes he gets his proficiency in foil up real high and walking silently and all this other stuff, and he becomes the very romantic kissing bandit who comes into town at the latest women and takes their jewels and leaves town.
You said gets a skillet with a foil. I thought you were going to say, and then he throws it over people's heads in combat.
What is this, El Kabong? No,
it's full-on half-orc who throws his freaking fencing or his saber over people's heads.
Yep. Well, he has a trademark now.
Yeah, he does.
Well, Zorro was kind of a bandit, so...
Hey, wait till I get my hand on somebody small enough to fastball special.
Uh-oh.
Here, hold this dagger. Wah!
You mean your dwarf friend there?
He's a little too
something
heavy.
more gnomish or halflingish, but...
Oh, come on, build up your muscles.
It takes 2 hands to throw the dwarf. He eats too much. Much pasta in the beard.
Just don't throw him in the water. He'll sink right to the bottom.
I want to be a bandit in the bandit kit. I'm going to be based around the beach here, and I'm going to have a boat. Dude, that's a pirate.
Yeah, that's another kit.
Yes. I'm going to be all Magni Oil and my sneaking around. That's a swashbuckler.
Yeah, exactly.
So your party wakes up and there's seven halflings running around your campsite, all in white tuxedos, holding a very large map. A large blue magical doorway opens up, and they take off with all of your stuff with Napoleon.
I kick him.
No, we're not doing the time bandits. Leave the Titan with the boat.
But they're bandits.
Yeah. Well, they were traveling. They were monitoring a pathway of sorts. So
be careful. Vermin's getting hungry. Anyway, you tell us about your bit. Tell us your bit. Anybody got any final words on bandits?
No, I'm good.
Okay, hold on.
We don't need no stinking bandits.
Okay, fine. Then I guess people will have to tell us about it at THACOsHammer@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. All right, onward to Magic Fingers.
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie, the spirits are about to speak.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Magic Fingers. Magic Fingers. What we got from the Spells and Magic book and the Wizard Spell Compendium Volume 1, we have the spell Cat's Grace. You will find that Wizard Spell Compendium on page 124. It is a second level alteration spell. It's basically, you know what the strength spell does to a fighter. This does it for strength. This does it for dex.
Yep. It will increase, just like with the strength spell of increase a fighter's strength by 1 to 8 points, it will increase a rogue's dexterity by 1 to 8 points.
But this is a little more egalitarian.
There you go.
Not just thieves. All four classes.
For
varying results. Degrees.
Yes.
I mean, the rogue gets the most, 1d8.
Yeah, fighters and wizards get 1d6, priests get 1d4.
It's actually had a lot more warriors go for having this spell cast on them so that they could be much more better with their friggin' bows.
Yeah, then there's that.
Yeah.
Because not only does your dexterity get increased, but the reaction adjustment, missile attack,
skills and abilities.
all the thieves skills, they all get enhanced by this spell. Now, I could see this being done. I could see a mage thief using this spell because he knows that chest over there has a really nasty trap in it. And he's not quite confident of his own lockpick or his trap removing skills. So, yeah, he'll cast Cat's Grace on himself, increase his dex.
Take you 2 turns to do it.
Yeah, but better to take.
And it lasts 1 hour per level, which is really
That's correct.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And you can only get it up to 2.
That's correct.
It's not cumulative with any other magic or psionic power.
Correct. So, yeah, I mean, if you have a thief with a dexterity of 18, you're only going to get 1 or 2 points. That's it.
And the material component is a few whiskers from a cat. Not just any cat, an elven cat.
That's rare enough.
Yes.
Yeah, elven kitties, yes. But, yeah,
that would be the best backstory for a freaking wizard ever.
What?
Now,
I'm wanted. You're one. Yeah, I'm a mage thief. You're what? Well, I was a bandit, but I snuck in and found the elven emissary's wagon and clipped off all the cat's whiskers. You what? Yeah, I needed them for spell components, and now I'm hunted.
Yeah, elves don't like you.
Yeah.
You clip the whiskers of one of their cats. They do not like you.
The cat ain't too happy either.
Yeah, the cat, cat.
See, that's what I think about elven cats. I mean, you got the natural contrariness of, and, not giving a crap attitude of a regular cat. Then you put the elf stuff on top of that.
Yeah, they're much more.
They're never going to warm up to a human.
What was the name of that winged cat monster?
Tresson.
Yeah. You could probably make like a 5th level version of this spell using Tresson whiskers.
Really? Improved cat's grace?
Yeah. Well,
greater cat's grace.
Well, see, this is the whole thing. I never understood, going back to playing 1E because that's the first time I saw the strength spell, that they didn't come up with the alternates for Dex, for Con. It took until late 2nd edition, early 3rd edition to, for that to happen. I never understood that. Because it would only make sense. It's like, they
waited for MMOs to codify it.
Perhaps. You might be right.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. The dog doesn't like it.
Yeah,
then again, we're talking about
I think what Elizabeth's Kobold's got in here.
Heard us talking about elven cats.
Yeah. Cats? Where? I'll get them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who let the coochies out?
Actually, here comes my dinner. So, anyway, so you guys ever use this spell as a player character?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. What about as a DM?
As a DM?
That too.
If the player finds it or wants to learn it, it won't be quite so easy to find as, say, like the strength spell or something like that. But, yeah, if he can find it, he can memorize it, he can use it.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. Tell us all about it.
NPC thiefy type persons.
Yep.
NPC thiefy type persons who are not inherently known for their dexterousness, utilizing Cat's Grace to stay on top in their thief guild placement.
Mm-hmm. That would help with the 2-weapon
Half
fight.
Ogre Thief Guild leader, yeah. And the 2-weapon fighting.
It would help with 2-weapon fighting and ambidextry and all that.
I had a wizard study this for escaping out of a mountainous layer and using it for climbing down and scaling rock surfaces for the party.
Uh-huh.
I believe it's one of the inherent powers of the Staff of the Cat as well.
Really?
That thief magic item staff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the staff. I know that. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Right.
It's one of the granted powers, or one of the just inherent spells that you can use up with charges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, boy, use that with spider climb. Boy, talk about parkour.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had a character who was like running 115% climb walls before tapping yourself with Cat's Grace. I would plant the cat staff, climb the cat staff in the middle of an open floor, reach up and grab the ceiling with my fingertips and pull the cat staff up to the ceiling with me and sit up there lurking like friggin',
Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yep, just hanging around at the top, hanging around on the ceiling because you know what?
Minus 75 on that climb walls check. Okay, what'd you roll? 93. I made it by 5.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, it is more utilitarian for thieves, but it can also help your fighter avoid getting hit just a little bit better.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
It can help your fighter reach out and your ranger reach out and touch somebody a little bit better. It can help your mage get that spell off faster.
Mm-hmm. If you're using
the action adjustments for,
right.
spell cast time.
It can make your cleric dodge out of the way of damage that could take out the healer in the party, and then you'd have to use the potion of resurrection that you guys just happened to find in the chest earlier.
Uh-huh. Okay, that'll work.
There's those dungeon environments where you're crossing the uncertain floor, the rickety bridge, the crazy rope, the whatever, and it says, somebody make a dex check, and all the people in armor stare at each other going, you first.
The Bridge of Khazad-dûm, everybody run across like they're butt naked and they're Olympic runners. Go!
When you're on top of that ancient temple and it starts collapsing, you want this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you're using certain rules and
you turn into an anime character then.
Spells and not spells and powers, skills and powers. Yeah, skills and powers, which we still have yet to cover because we're trying not to. But if you're using certain rules and skills and powers, which higher dex will increase your movement rate, that will help. That will definitely help.
Exactly. So you tell us all about your stories about Cat's Grace at THACOsHammer@gmail.com. Got it?
Good.
Got it.
Yeah. Let's go have a snipe hunt.
If you only had a living brain.
What do you think? Escaped gorilla?
Listen, you're making enough noise to wake up the dead.
I don't have to wake him up. He's up.
It's time for a snipe hunt.
Snipe hunt. Human bandit brigand. You think we'd let you get away without hearing about that, huh? No way. You find
the most prolific, dangerous creature lurking upon the face of your Dungeons and Dragons world.
Mm-hmm. Look at the bones!
Those horrific humans.
Yes, you look under the human category, page 196 of the Monstrous Manual, 196, 197, under bandit/brigand.
Yep. Number appearing ever.
You think this is... I feel this is a little bit cheap for Snipe Hunt, though. We're doing humans.
I don't know, man. It's talking about role-playing, You got to really get your head wrapped around those alien archetypes.
Get this, who openly prey on travelers in isolated dwellings. Well, that's what we talked about during the kit. But it says they travel in groups of 20 to 200.
Yep.
Usually led by a high-level fighters, rogues, wizards, and priests. If you were playing the bandit kit and you were the bandit leader, do you really think you'd have that many followers?
Hey, if you're successful, that's what ends up happening.
Look at the rest of the numbers.
You look at the rest of the numbers. No.
Fine. This is the same type of thing I had to do with the Drow Elf. For every 20 bandits, there will be an additional 3rd level fighter. If 100 or more encountered, the leader will be at least 8th level.
And that's with at the minimum 5 3rd level fighter sergeants. You gotta remember that. You see.
That's on top of those 3rd level fighter sergeants, they're going to have an 8th level something. Could be any class.
Yep.
Bandit and that would get the character of how that bandit brigand band works. And again, brigands are better than bandits because they have higher morale and better armor and weapons.
Yep.
That's right. And this is one of those monsters in the Monsters Manual that really drives home the schism between the DMs, NPCs, and the PCs.
How do you mean?
Well, most PCs are human. He's
Correct.
running humans, but he's running humans that are a lot more powerful than you. I know it sounds kind of simplistic, but think about it. Mm-hmm. It's like you wouldn't give these to players.
No, not at all.
Okay, there you go. Mm-hmm. And it has to be that way.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I put this in here was I was thinking more along the lines of, aside from going to the Caves of Chaos, and aside from going to rescue this princess from, this evil mage who wants to sacrifice her to his demon gods or whatever, this is one of the archetype initial adventures for a party.
Right.
A town is being, shipping is being waylaid, seized, and otherwise harried on the trade route by bandits. So
bandits are coming into the village and robbing them blind for tribute every once in a while.
Yep.
So we call in the Magnificent Seven PCs.
The very first encounter of the Epic Night Below box set.
Yep. You're
is
right.
Bandits and Brigands.
Yes, exactly.
To help you establish your cred among the village of the locals.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
You blow that, you might as well throw the box set away.
Well, considering that by the time when you're in,
you can make up for it with the goblins.
Yeah. Well, yeah. God, yeah. or the freaking Duergar for that matter.
Let Corey throw some.
They definitely get to see the blood orcs.
Let like a bunch of Grell in fancy hats come in and.
I'd be okay with that.
I know. Why am I not surprised by that?
And shades, because they don't like going outside of the Underdark. So.
That's right.
Yeah,
you know what? And you're not really tied to making them human, just like all the friggin' core races. You can have a bandit or brigand band of elves. You can have a bandit or brigand band of dwarves. You can have a bandit or brigand band of halflings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. It'd be funny.
And you
hell.
really don't want to know what they're going to do when it comes time to dinner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that. But, it's just one of the, I'm just saying, it's just one of the, adventuring archetypes, really. It's just something to get the characters together, to get them to, more importantly, to work together, to end this set. And not only that, they also, once they, if they're able to drive off the bandits or kill the leader or do whatever they got to do to break up this big group of guys who are, ambushing, shipping, and all that other stuff, their rep goes up. People actually are thankful.
Yeah, besides, if you're going to warm up your cleric for those level draining undead that he's going to encounter later, having something that he can actually protect the party with his protection from evil spell.
Exactly.
That won't laugh at him.
Oh,
and come spank him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Bandits and Brigands as a collective group are chaotic evil.
That's the
They're
one.
Just out there robbing.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's right.
Put them down.
And it's a nice thing about throwing them up against a party with a priest. The priest finally gets to get his warrior side of warrior priest on.
Yes, exactly. Aside from being
bashing heads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a Band-Aid this fight? Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not even hit dice critters. They're 1 to 6 hit points. So that sleep spell from the mage actually looks impressive when, 20 to 200 bandits come running at you.
Yeah, and you see at least like 10% of their number just drop and fall asleep. Yeah.
Hopefully 10 of the 20% that all have bows.
I stunned
would hope so.
My last game I stunned a Chaos Warrior with Color Spray.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Color Spray would be a fantastic spell.
Yes.
To deal with brigands, because they're basically, your run-of-the-mill brigand or bandit is a 0-level human being.
Right.
1 to 6 hit points, THACO 20. The problem is that there's so doggone many of them. It's like, it's fine if they're only like 5 or 6 and you just stroll up to them with like your 3rd or 4th level fighter and you just make them look, then you just go all Maximus on them.
Well, the other problem would be if you have 5 or 6 of them and they have a leader who's like, say, a 6th level fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a problem.
Yeah, that would be a problem. That would be a definite problem.
He knows how to effectively use them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably trained them in like, okay, you guys go up here and fire your bows. You guys come up here and engage them in front. You guys sneak around the back. That kind of thing.
That's when your cleric actually gets to use one of his other spells called Command.
Yeah. Stop!
Yeah. And that's what he'll do for one round.
Command is a wonderful spell. I love it.
Yeah, and it's, again, like I said, this is a wonderful little...
and they're humans, so they can understand you when you give them command of, let's get ready to fumble!
Yeah, and the ones start falling all over the place.
I believe command is just one word. So
yes, it is.
Fumble. You say the command word is fumble.
Trip.
To the guy with the bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break, and he breaks his bow.
Mm-hmm. Well, then he would ask, break what? No, it has to be...
Here's a good one. GM's judgment. I'm standing in front of 2 brigands, or bandits. One of them is in the back rank and he has a bow.
Okay.
The one in the front fighting me with his short sword. I cast a command spell on the one with the bow and say backstab.
Ooh.
He can't do it. Because it would take him 1 round. It would take him 1 round to switch his weapon to a dagger.
No. Shoot him with the bow in the back.
Well, that's if you allow that.
Yes. I
shoot him in the back with ballista.
I knew that was coming.
Command word, ballista.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like I said, this is one of those things that if you encounter a group of brigands on your way to wherever you're going and you are not strong enough or have enough power to deal with them, usually get off the road and let them go by.
Right.
But then again, the DM can do stuff like, you see like, this long column of bandits and studded leather armor and all kinds of weapons march by, and then and then the leaders. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Then you see the leaders' cart go by, and attached to the back of that cart are a lot of bedraggled human beings who look like they've been treated really, really, really badly. What do? You give them the moral choice.
You like the back...
And tell her that's all I can afford this month.
You like the back of the cart.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and then what you gonna do when they start? Yeah, well, And then what happens when the bandits actually start running down and actually killing those poor bedraggled people who look like they've been mistreated? You see, you can actually force it.
Well, you see, those poor bedraggled people are actually that other human encounter. That's the pirate buccaneers that were 30 to 300, and those are the survivors being drug inland for trial. The only other encounter group that's that large is the merchant and traders, which are also 30 to 300.
Yep. But but I'm just saying, there's just a way you can actually, sort of get, prod your party, even though it's a railroad, man. Even though it's a railroad, but it's one of the fun. Yeah.
So going by these
railroad bandits.
So going by these numbers in the Monsters Manual here.
Yeah.
If I take the bandit kit.
Yeah.
And I hit level 8, I should have 100 followers. I'm just saying.
At level 3, you should have 20 followers.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Just stop it.
Oh, I can't wait to play D&D.
Oh my God. Not in my game, you don't. Nim kid, man. Not in my game, you don't.
Once again, there's the schism.
Yes, there is. There's a schism. Yeah. It always happens with the 4 of us. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So,
why am I
anyone else have anything to say? Or
have we beat this horse to death?
Yeah.
I don't know. You get good money for horse. They're not that good eating. You get better money for the horse.
You know the number.
Mm-hmm.
405-806-0555.
Or THACOshammer@gmail.com.
Yes,
and onward to our final segment, the DM's Rag.
Well, that's quite a story.
I think it would be fun to run a newspaper.
And here it comes, right over the old plate.
The DM's Rag. On the DM's Rag.
Whoa, wait a minute. I had a female as a DM. Watch that.
I've had several. I mean, as DM.
I've had males who've acted female.
Oh.
No,
I know exactly what he meant.
Have we crossed the line yet, folks? I hope so.
We've obliterated it by now.
I'm building a summer home on the other side. What are you talking about?
Dungeon Magazine. We're talking about Dungeon Magazine number 47, Fraggart's Contraption.
Yeah.
Now this one's right up my alley.
I knew you would like it. That's why I picked it.
Well,
The Adventure with the F-Bomb. Fraggart.
I just like the tagline underneath the title. It'll work for sure this time. Really.
Okay, I actually hurried up and read this after she gave me the notes about 2 hours ago, and it's about a gnome named Fraggart who gets captured by bandits.
Yep. That's where the tie-in is. See what I did there?
And the cave they happen to be, and they're going to ransom him to his gnome clan. But the cave they happen to be keeping him in, since he was bored, he found out used to be occupied by a wizard, and he found his old laboratory and workshop. Mm-hmm. And he found notes for this.
My name is Fraggart Weston. I used to be a gnome.
Stop that. Stop that.
We've got a 4th level blacklist spell on you.
He also
I knew where he was going.
Yeah, I knew as soon as he said Weston, I knew exactly where it was going.
He also
Hey.
When you're
bows and crossbows don't make you smart. Mesh tape makes you smart.
He also found plans for some kind of machine that he decided he wanted to build. So the family paid the ransom, and then he left a note saying, "Yes, but I'm not coming home.
Yep,
I'm busy."
Yeah. That's the funny part about it.
I have a coffee maker to make.
Yeah. So he came up with this contraption, which is basically a 4-wheel contraption that is kind of like a juggernaut type thing. It can also chew through a rock, and it's got wands in it that throw spells.
Yes.
It's an internal combustion spell juggernaut thingy. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work very well because he's a gnome.
You know clerics, bitchy little girls.
God.
Anyway, his family hires the adventurers, to go find out what the hell happened to him. Because they're out, 500 gold?
Is that your high priest again? Oh, come on, guys. Jeez. You're going to throw out freaking burn notice opening thing references? Come on. Jeez.
Oh, that was the mom reference. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on, man.
I thought it was like
the program guy.
I thought it was the Ranger ex-girlfriend. Should I shoot them?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a fun.
I'm trying to keep us on track here.
This is for 1 or 2 level. For levels 1 or 2, 8 to 10 levels. So it's a pretty standard thing. It's great because it's got a lot of role playing in it, and it's got a little bit of fighting in it.
Yeah.
And
it's just like and said, it's perfect for your first, or that full on the first level, second level, perfect villains, the bandits.
Yeah, those bandits right there.
Yeah, this kind of proves my point a little bit.
And it also holds up my theory there need to be more mad scientists and genius inventors in D&D.
Yeah, I can kind of agree. Now, the best part about this adventure, by far to me, aside, I'm not even talking about the contraption, because the contraption is
of itself.
Yeah, in and of itself, right. The best part about it is the map.
The map's great. The
map of the area is written by a smart-ass gnome who just doesn't care about accuracy. He just,
right. The 4 gnomes that hire you are pieces of work of themselves.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the one that's so, the one that's got low intelligence and he's so stupid they gave him two potions, but they're just water. Because they don't trust him to carry anything else. He says,
it's a burned out gnome that you met along the way.
And they told him it was a potion of thirst quenching.
Yep.
Jeez. That is hilarious. But
this has got some well placed humor in it for a mini adventure. I really like the writing on this one.
Yeah, and it does, and it's all illustrated by Jim Holloway.
Yep.
Yes, sir, my man. Jim.
Some of his best stuff there too.
Yep. Yeah, it's good stuff for sure.
Oh yeah.
That first picture on the title page though, it looks like he's holding a coffee maker. Every time I look at it, he's holding a coffee maker.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he invented it.
Yeah, but yeah, it ends up, so you basically have to go to find the cave, do some investigation, do a little role playing, now there's one part about this adventure that kind of gets my goat, but it's not that big deal. Now I'm looking at the random encounters, and most of them are really well thought out and pretty good.
Right.
But the number 10, that is one of those things you don't want to throw at a first level party.
I'm looking. Hold on.
The memory moss.
Oh yeah. Obliviax. Yeah, that's stuff.
I'm like, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm like, yeah, that just if the Obliviax gets a hold of the mage or the cleric for that matter.
It's all gone. It's all over.
You're done. Yeah.
If you find it and figure out what it is, it could be the MacGuffin that lets you get the friggin' gnome back home.
True.
By making him forget all about his fantastical thingy.
Because this is about negotiation, even with the brigands. I mean, the brigands are not too bright themselves. I mean, it's a half ogre leading, 30 men?
Yeah, a little more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, and he's not very good at it. Mm-hmm. So they tend to they got enough food for 2 days. He sent them out with a list of stuff he needed to make this thing. And the brigand chief is just fascinated by this. It's like all of a sudden he's his buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
But now they're going out for food because we're starving. We haven't, we haven't waylaid anything in 3 days.
Exactly. Yep.
And have a contraption collect it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly, and he even says that after they do their brigandry, that the leader basically just drinks wine in his quarters and does and
hangs out with the gnome.
Yeah, when the gnome got there, he's like, "Ooh, this is cool."
Yeah,
he started hanging out with them. Yeah, him.
We told him it was a Sampo. Anyway.
Wow.
Certain people will get that. Or is it, as they say, the right people will get that. But, it's chock full. There's not a whole lot of fun. I mean, I think we put the random encounters there just to give them something to fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's not much fighting. You can fight the brigands. You may end up fighting the brigands, but it's mostly negotiation and talking somebody into things. I don't think the brigands care whether the gnome is there or not because they got their gold.
Right.
Exactly. I think that the leader may care because that's kind of his buddy now, and you're taking his buddy away.
Right, and he's actually thinking he could use the gnome to,
other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking at the contraption. This thing looks like a freaking 1920s Duesenberg.
Yeah.
That's the funny part to me. I'm like, wow, for a medieval campaign, they certainly got car design down, don't they?
And he came up with the fuel system and the fuel to use it.
Yep.
And what I like is those wands. You can power it to shoot magic, but everything is broken.
Yeah, exactly. They're random. But
they have specific spells, but they come out wrong.
Exactly, and they're all messed up, and
it shoots somebody with that one that has a wand of strength in it. It gives a feeble mind in it. It gives the guy strength instead.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yep.
I can imagine turning this adventure on its head by giving the half ogre a makeover, a Marlon Brando makeover.
Uh-oh.
And have the contraption be the boat that you're never supposed to get off of.
The horror. Yes. and Jim Holloway actually put a picture of the device.
Yes.
And I'm like, my God.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great. And the funny part is that this gnome is just a little first level fighter with this whole just invention Jones that he's on.
Yeah,
And
they say all the gnomes, the whole clan and stuff, are tinkerers and inventors and stuff like that. But it seems like from him down, none of them are very good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the funny part. The problem is that he's a little crazy about it. He's obsessed with it.
They all fled this Greyhawkian plain for a place with dragons.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But, and the thing is, yeah, exactly. But what the party is supposed to do is to kind of talk the gnome out of giving this thing up, or, siding with them and going home to his family.
Right.
The DM even said if Fraggart is in his device, there's like a 15% chance that you'll be able to talk him out of it.
Well, they said if he's lying down in his room or something, you have a 65% chance.
Exactly. When he's away from his machine, he's not quite as obsessed.
What I like is the fact that he figured out it's too big to get out of the cave, so he made an add-on to go through rocks so they could dig their way out.
Yeah. A total.
And what they said in the conclusion, it's like if you could talk him into taking the machine back to his clan and stuff like that. He says, I'd throw some random wandering monsters in the way just to test it out.
Yeah. Get behind me, guys. I got this. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There's a Minotaur. Good. I need a field test.
Yeah, exactly.
You could talk the bandits into selling it to the local thieves guild so they could use it to break into the bank from beneath.
Oh God.
Jeez. Yeah. Then now we're going into Italian job territory.
Well, they did say if you're hiding in the cave, if you're hiding from the bandits and stuff, if you stay there for 12 hours, that machine's going to come up from the bottom.
Yep.
From the floor, because he finally got it far enough.
Yep. It actually dug all the way through to another room in the cave.
Yeah, the thing is, this machine works to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
You don't use the magic. It's still great for this kind of stuff.
Right, yeah. Just like most GNOME devices, they work, but only to a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's take a trip to Kryn and see how that whole thing goes. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Good.
Yeah.
They tear it down. Sure, I didn't come up with the Tinker Gnomes. Anyway, Fraggart's Contraption.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of fun. I never tried it, but I would like to.
Yeah. This is one of those that's not quite so heavy on combat, but pretty hefty on role-playing, like a 30-70.
Now, have enough combat in there for the first or second levels to get, like, some decent experience.
Yeah, get a couple of XPs.
Yeah, without
So come on down to Fraggart's Rock.
Oh, I was waiting for that.
Down to Fraggart's Rock.
Down to Fraggart's Rock.
That's two shows I got Fraggle Rock references.
Fraggle Rock was awesome.
Yeah. On the other show, we were reviewing a supplement that had monsters in there called Froggles, and so Liz has to go, oh yeah, I gotta do she gotta do a module down in Froggle Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, we like puns most of the time.
Anyway, you can tell us about it. THACOShammer@gmail.com if you've run it or something.
Let us know.
Yeah. All right, we're going to close another splat book. Yeah. That was
another one down, and another one down.
I get to finish my dinner, and oh man. Stay tuned. Stay tuned next time for splat book 75, which will be about hell if I know. I find out
anniversary THACO's hammer.
Okay. I usually find out an hour before the show.
I can't afford. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we never did celebrate 50.
Yeah.
We just plowed right on through it.
If you're lucky,
here we are.
If you're lucky, I'll celebrate 100.
Yeah, well, we kind of gotta.
We do?
You know what I mean? Yeah!
Rent no tux.
Well, I ain't renting no tux either. I hate tuxes.
All I know is I want to be able to hit 80 so I can start calling us octogenarians.
Okay.
That's just a cool name. Octogenarian. Should be like a supervillain.
Octogenarian, why don't you say goodbye?
Good night, folks. Until next time, we'll be here throwing dice and fireballs.
The ever-present full-on, how about you?
Gamer Nation, we will see you again, unless we come up beneath you with Fraggart's contraption.
And the third member of our party, Brian.
And just remember, folks, if he had chromatic orbs, Corey would be a lot happier with this adventure.
Yep, that's true. He's not lying.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna go lie down, so I'm DM Glenn saying I'll see you next time when the hammer comes down. I'll take those hammer. Bye.
Shut up!
You need an antidepressant, Glenn?
Chromatic orbs on that thing? Oh.
Yeah,
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at THACOsHammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at THACOsHammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.